gonna try and do this while I still can. So you last left me in A&E, where I lay down on a bed for some time in A&E in a bay. Eventually, well, from A&E they sent me to a series of chairs. Oh, my foot was literally leaving blood on the floor. Doesn't seem to be bleeding now, you'll be glad to hear. Talk to a woman in the A&E seats, and I was obviously looking a bit weird at this point, but I said to her, I don't know, we discussed a couple of things, and I said, what do you do? And she said, I'm a nurse. I said, oh, it's a bit ironic being a nurse in A&E, isn't it? And that made her laugh. I asked what was wrong with her, and I said, you don't have to answer. She's got a burst eardrum. I said, oh, what'd you do? Like, put the old Q-tip or cotton bud down it? And she said, no, it just seemed to burst. I was like, oh, I wasn't aware that eardrums could spontaneously burst. Anyway, I get called to another set of chairs, so I sat on another set of chairs in a different room. I got called again. They said, oh, I haven't even told you about queuing up for A&E outside in the weather because of social distancing. They only let a few people in at a time. So I was sitting there with this, didn't know she was a nurse at the time, but there was a queue, but I noticed some people got up from the middle of the queue and walked in the building and gained access to A&E. So I said to this woman who turned out to be a nurse, I said, have you noticed that some people get up from the middle of the queue, they walk into the building and they get access straight away? I was saying to her, do you think we should try it? And she said, what, together, like storming the building? And I said, like, yeah, like storming the Alamo, but that would take more than the two of us, sort of thing. But anyway, she said, try it. So I tried it, and I got in, but there was some sort of staff member, and he said, come in, and I said, but there are about 4 people ahead of me. And he said, look, just come in. just come in. So I got in, and then I had that series of chairs thing. Anyway, I ended up in, I think it's called AUU. I was sat down there again for a little while, but eventually I got a ward, very small ward. There were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of us in this ward. So I was there, and I was given a lot of drugs. I mean, obviously prescription drugs, not illegal drugs. And they did help, but there was a point where somebody said, well, I just need you to take these hang on, I'm going to have to pause. Phone's going. I didn't pick up in time. It only rang 3 times. So that's probably a scam or something. I just need you to take these 10 pills, and I've been struggling to get 2 pills down sometimes. I was daunted by 10 pills, but anyway, I did get them down. I think they might have been Librium. They did give me Librium at some point. 10 tablets of Librium would be a lot though, wouldn't it? So it probably wasn't. There was another drug they gave me called Busilex, or that's the nearest I can get, Busilex. I'd never heard of it. I said, well, what is it? And they said, oh, I don't know. I said, well, a tranquilizer of some kind, I assume. So I'm being tranquilized, having never raised a hand to anyone, you know. A lot happened. I have to eat gluten-free, and not as a hobby or a minor life choice. And so they would offer me 4 meals in the hospital, and they all had gluten in. And I'd say, I can't eat gluten. And I explained what it does to me. I don't need to get graphic with you, but it's like toileting issues, basically. And they'd never heard of it. What's gluten-free? Well, I told them what gluten is. They said, well, we can make you toast. And I said, that's gluten. We can offer you porridge. I should have accepted the porridge. In my mind, that has gluten in, but I've been eating. I should have had porridge. Anyway, so over the course of a day, there was one day where I had 2 small yogurts for the entire day. There was another day when I had this nice shepherd's pie. That was the best meal I had there. But before that, in A&E, you know, with the whole 7:30 confusion, Lewisham Hospital has more computers and staff than Google and Facebook put together. And these are doctors and nurses, and they're just on computers. Like, nobody's given me an examination of my feet in 4 days. Sorry, this is so depressing, isn't it? Like, I can't imagine any of you wanting to listen to this, really. But nobody's given... One person looked at my foot that had been bleeding on the floor of A&E and said, oh, it just looks a bit dirty to me. And, you know, wounds can heal themselves, can't they, if you leave them long enough. You've all had the experience of cutting your finger, and you don't do too much about it, and it will stop bleeding after a while. So that's where my foot was, I guess. But I'm still... Well, am I? I'm just trying to test my feet out. Yeah, it seems like the pain in my feet has gone away, but I've been drinking wine again. But I'd be in this ward of 5 people. The nurse would go round and talk to the other 4, and I'd say, hey, I've got a certain need, like water or a meal, and they would just walk out. Now you might think, well, what have you done, Graham? What did you do? There was another guy on this ward, older than me, but in sort of fairly good physical shape. I think he said he was in the military. So, you know, naturally he's trained hard. And he would say things to staff like, I'm stuck in this room with a bullshitter. Yeah, a bullshit. Every time I tried to speak to him to say, in what manner have I bullshitted? And he says, you just lie after lie. And I said, well, tell me one lie I've told. And he'd just say, look, just shut up. I've told you before to not talk to me. And I'd just say, one lie, two lies, tell me what I've said. And he'd just go, shut up, shut up. So he must have told the staff something, and every time they went past me, they gave me this look like I'd committed an atrocity. How much time have we recorded now? 11 minutes. Okay, we can carry on. So in the end, another thing that happened was there's all these hand washing taps around, but no drinking taps, or none that I could find. So it's above the taps it would say not for drinking, but I'm like, I need water, and I can't find no staff. Some staff brought me water, a few staff brought me water, but on another day I'd get none. So they caught me filling a bottle from a hand washing tap, and she basically nicked it off me. Another time I filled it up from the hand washing tap and I left it on my bedside table, and she dashed in, took the water. Like, imagine if you were Gandhi, or I don't know, anyone from history, Thomas More, I don't know, name your own favourite historical figure from 50 years ago. Okay, you're not meant to drink from the hand washing water, it might be somewhat unsanitary, but I needed water and I was willing to take the risk. But for the NHS staff, it's like, oh my god, he's gonna poison himself. Like, with, I mean, the hand washing water can't be full of urine or crap, can it? I just wanted water. So in the end, I said, I'm walking out of here, and I tried to escape on bad feet. So I'm walking at like a 80-year-old, 96-year-old man's speed, and I got downstairs to near the entrance, and two women said, you have to come back to the ward, you have to come back to the ward. And I said, no, I'm going home. And I could have got past them, and I don't mean by shoving them, I could have got round them, and I thought they'd say, alright, he clearly just wants to go. But then a security guard who's like a foot taller than me, wearing all black, not a policeman, you know, Lewisham Hospital security guard, he stood there, and I thought, right, I'm in real trouble now. Like before the security guard turned up, the women were grabbing me, and I said, I'm not gonna grab you back, I'm not gonna fight you back, please don't restrain me, please don't restrain me, I want to go home. And they said, oh, we're not restraining you, we're not I said, what does it mean if someone holds you by the arm, or by the arm basically, they didn't grab me by the neck or the head. What does the word restraint mean if you've got hold of my arm, I want to go home? And what is the meaning of restraint if it's not to hold someone from where they want to go, physically hold you? And I didn't want to pull my arm away from them suddenly, because, you know, then I might be a person who's knocked an NHS member of staff off her feet just by trying to pull my arm away. Anyway, they did get me back to the ward. Let's cut to the chase. They got me back to the ward. I spent an hour there waiting for Rice Krispies, which again still have gluten in them, but you know, it's not a slice of bread. Anyway, you know, an hour, 2 hour, 3 hours later, I thought, I am gonna escape again. And this time I bloody did. You know, I got away, and I'm at home now. I'm at home. How are we doing for time? Okay, it's only 16 minutes. So, only half an hour ago, an ambulance woman came to the door, rung the doorbell, and I said, I'm not answering the door. You're gonna drag me back to that hospital. And I said, how many of you are there? And she said, oh, it's only me. And I said, wow, that's weird. Like, you normally come in crews of 3, don't you? She said. And she used a technical ambulance term. I don't know what it was. She said, look, it's only me. And, you know, as a woman again. I said, she said, the hospital is worried because you still got a canula in your arm. And I said, well, is that a big deal? I thought they was worried about the cost of a cannula. I thought, how much can that cost? And when I say cannula, you know, I didn't come home with the big stand with the bag of fluid on top. It's just the little device that they put in your wrist to feed you the bag. So it's just a little plastic device. And I said, well, is it a problem? And she said, well, the trouble is, you know, you've got a needle still sitting in your wrist. And there's a worry of infection. And they wouldn't check my feet at A&E. Not this ambulance woman, this different person. So I said, alright, I'm going to put the chain on the door and open the door ajar. I know it's going to be difficult, but I'm just going to put my hand through the jar of the door. If we can do it this way, just take it out and, you know, job done. And that's what she did. You know, she seemed really nice. She's quite smiley. And yeah, like, she took the cannula out, and I said, well, good, I'm sure you got loads more jobs today. So I didn't say I bid you farewell, but I said, you know, alright, job achieved, basically. So here I am, drinking my last half bottle of wine, I would say. Like, I've got a quarter bottle here. I've got wine in saucepans. There must be wine in the midst of the glass of the sink that I can pour out, but I stupidly went to the toilet and washed my hands into the bowl of wine and glass. Anyway, so I'm running out. So I may well end up in withdrawal. I've tried to phone my brother. He insists I've got credit on my phone, but I don't know if I have or not. Like, sent a text message to my brother just saying test, and it didn't work. I'll try and phone him on my landline, which is running out of charge. I don't know what I can email him, but I think they've all blocked me now. Alright, well that's another happy story for you. Happy little happy little story for you all. Alright, that's 20 minutes, so I don't know. Most of you people don't know where I live, but if you send wine, that would be lovely. And now I'm going to press stop.